Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm of course Akira, and today I'm going to show you guys how to set up the classic controller hacks that have recently come out for some Wii games. So I'm going to show you guys how to play Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, Donkey Kong Country Returns, and Animal Crossing City Folk. Forgot if I got a fifth one in there, but I'm going to show you guys how to set that up so you can play with the classic controller. As well, I'm going to show you guys how to run these games on the Wii U gamepad. Don't mind the white cable there. And I'm also going to be showing you guys how to set this up on your Steam Deck. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to have a link below for the GBA temp thread where all of this has been basically been going down. I'm going to show you guys how to set this stuff up. I'm going to show you guys basically each permutation that you could hopefully want. So obviously between the classic controller, gamepad, Steam Deck, and of course the Steam Deck guide basically applies to Dolphin if you're playing on Windows, because we're going to be using Dolphin, of course. And other than that, the only permutation I probably won't be showing you guys is using Riivolution if you want to use your physical discs. That is just because of just a personal grievance of mine with the DRM on that particular piece of software. I just really don't agree with it. It's the year's, what, 2025, and that piece of software still has that DRM on it. I don't really understand what the hangup is there. So that's the only one I'm not going to be showing here, but I'm going to be showing you guys how to set this up so that you have basically, if you just want to use Dolphin, I'll have a section just for that. If you just want to use real hardware, the first part of this guide will apply to that specifically, but it will also apply to Dolphin if you want to have just like a patched game for both of them, basically. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump right in here. So I'm going to be showing you guys this on my Wii U, just because my original Wii is currently still out for repair. We've got an HDMI port coming in on it, and it's going to be really cool when that happens. But right now it is out for repair. To get started here, I'm going to show you guys basically just a little bit of gameplay. I'm going to go ahead and jump cut directly to some gameplay for you guys here. And real quick, just to show you guys, these are the games that I have patched. I forgot that I did patch Mario Sports Mix and Kirby's Return to Dreamland, as well as Rhythm Tengoku. I will show you guys all of that, of course. But pretty much so, the main thing I just want to go over here real quick before we get into the gameplay is that Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 in particular, these two use a different kind of patch. These are XML patched. So these two in particular cannot be patched using gecko code. So if you are going to be using only Dolphin, these two games in particular must be patched directly no matter what. But don't worry, it's easy. I will show you guys. I'm just going to show a little bit of gameplay first. Alright, so here we're at the title screen on Galaxy 2. This is a classic controller, and we're just going to do it like that. And so here, you can use the, what is it? Okay, I guess maybe it doesn't let you like point around. Oh no, it does. So you can use the right stick to point around. You can use this to collect the star bits, alright? And you can also, this game in particular allows you to use a D-pad and stuff for the menus here, which is nice, but on Galaxy 1, I think you do have to use the pointing stuff no matter what with the right stick. But again, it's all good. So I just want to showcase a little bit here. So again, here's the classic controller. Here's jump. Here's shake. So jump is mapped to B and A, and the shake is mapped to Y and X. So basically, you can use like Y and B or X and A, depending on what's comfy for you, to play the game. And then crouch is ZL. And centering the camera is L1, but in this particular space we can't do that. That's fine. You can still hear the camera airing out on that. ZR is to shoot the star bits. I think R1 is extra jump button. Yeah, it is. The D-pad is the camera stuff here. And then of course start and select, just pause the game. But yeah, we are using the classic controller to play this right now on what's pretty much real hardware. I mean, the Wii U does literally have real Wii hardware in it. Let's go ahead and just load up a stage here super quick. Alright, so here we are on Yoshi Star Galaxy, and one thing I also forgot to mention during the intro is if you have the original Wii Classic Controller like I have here, right, you might remember that the Z buttons are placed directly next to the L and Rs. So like, you might want to use L for like the crouching and stuff in this game. Do not worry about that. I will show you guys. They accounted for this in pretty much all the hacks I've seen so far. So if you are using the original Wii Classic Controller, you are good. There's not going to be like, oh, you have to use ZL no matter what for the crouch. Like, no, don't worry about that, you guys. I will show you. I'm just going to show a little bit of gameplay here first. So just show you guys just how comfy the experience really is. Like, oh my goodness, it's like, it really changes the game. Now, the savvy amongst you might have also noticed when I was going over the controls on the Classic Controller is that the button layout is pretty much a match for the All-Stars Collection version for Galaxy 1, and that is because that is exactly what we're using here. So this hack has the option to use the All-Stars control, and it also has the option to use the NVIDIA Shield controls. And once again, just don't worry about that, you guys. Like, you know, if it sounds a little bit daunting, do not worry. You pretty much only have to patch the game one time, and if you ever change your mind, it's easy enough to just patch the game again. You could conceivably have like just two different copies of this game, one that has the All-Stars controls and one that has the Shield controls, if you want to just switch on a whim like that. That is all fine. Same thing with if you want to swap the L and Rs with the Z buttons, you could have a separate ISO for that as well. But like I said, this game does have to be patched directly no matter what. If you're using Riivolution, Riivolution in particular will allow you to choose when you launch these games if you want to swap the shoulder buttons around, as well as you can choose between the All-Stars and the NVIDIA layouts. And I'll also have a link below in the description for the original video for the guy that made those, because Galaxy 1 and 2's patches in particular were made by a different guy from the other hacks that we're going to be looking at. So there's two different programs. I don't know why I'm like keep going into the mud there, but oh yeah, and like I said, the L1, it centers the camera. But anyways, so Galaxy 1 and 2, like I said, these two games, if you're going to be playing on Dolphin, these two have to be patched directly no matter what. The other games, they use gecko codes, but I'm going to show you guys how to directly embed the gecko codes into the ISO. I haven't actually messed with just having the gecko codes show up like in like Dolphin's like configuration, for example. I haven't actually like messed with that yet, but in Dolphin you can like right click on a game. I'm pretty sure you can go into like the properties menu or something like that, and you should be able to just add the gecko codes directly there if you don't want to patch the games directly. But like I said, though, the way we're doing it here, it's universal across both real hardware and Dolphin, and I will show you guys how to do that. Just wanted to show you guys just how comfy of an experience it really is. Just talk a little bit about these hacks. You might also notice if I go into the pause menu here. Okay, it doesn't have a button prompt, but on the title screen you probably already noticed too. The button prompts are still going to be Wii Remote and Nunchuck. It's still going to assume that you have those in terms of the button prompts, but pretty much so, like anytime the game tells you to shake, you're just going to press Y or X. And if the game tells you the Wiimote's A button, that's going to be B and A, because both of these jump in this game. As far as the rest of the buttons go, I'm not particularly sure. I guess probably like the Wiimote B button. I think that was the star bit button, right? That's probably ZR right there. But yeah, you know, it's like these hacks are going to take care of you in terms of the actual control layout. Now, one other thing too, I guess like it probably goes without saying, especially if you played All-Stars before, but hello Yoshi. So it goes without saying, but using the right stick to point the thing around, it is as awkward as I imagined it was gonna be. I haven't personally played All-Stars, but it is absolutely as awkward as I was imagining it was gonna be. I think the trade-offs for not having to shake the remote anymore is worth it in the end. Do I have to like hold it? Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you just use ZR for that. Okay. Can Yoshi just... Oh yeah, Yoshi just powers right on through the mud. Okay. Anyways, we don't really have to finish the stage. Again, I just want to go over all that with you guys. So let's go on with the patching process now. And just a quick side note for you guys as well. So right now the classic controller's in play, right? So just now I was thinking, I haven't tried this yet. So I grabbed my nunchuck over here, and I was just curious if you can hot swap these on the fly. It turns out you can. See? I am pointing with the Wii remote. And shake, all that stuff. So you can indeed hot swap between the nunchuck and the classic controller. So that's just in case you actually want to do that. Obviously, like the entire point of all this is to get away from that, but it is something that you can do. Okay, so here we are on the desktop. So I've prepared a couple folders here for you guys. This whole Revolution builder thing, this is just for Galaxy 1 and 2. So I'll show you guys that afterward. I'm going to show you guys the easier thing. Well, they're both pretty easy, but I'm just going to go over the one that affects more games than Galaxy 1 and 2, so to say. So right here I have just two base copies of City Folk and Donkey Kong Country Returns. And so what we have to do now is we're going to go head on over to the GBA temp thread. I'll have all of this linked below for you guys, don't worry. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to grab the easy Wii ISO cheat embedder, which is linked here on this thread. But again, I'll have this in the description for you guys anyways. So all you have to do is on this page, you're just going to hit the download button right up here. You're just going to hit continue with download only if you don't have a Dropbox account. I'm not going to do a repeat download because I already have it, but that's right there for you guys. So go ahead and grab that, and go ahead and grab Revolution ISO Builder from the video description. This is what you'll be using for Galaxy 1 and 2. And so to get started here with the cheat embedder, so let's do Animal Crossing first. So you're going to come down here on the thread, and it's going to tell you these are the retail disc games that you can apply all these hacks to. And further down is the WiiWare stuff. I haven't actually messed with any of these yet, but I imagine the process is pretty much the same. But anyways, so we're going to start with Animal Crossing here. So I'm going to go ahead and open down a new tab. And then we're just going to scroll down a little bit here. What you want to do is you're going to click spoiler, classic controller support gecko codes. And some games like this one in particular, they have two different patches you can choose from, where we're going to be, if we scroll down here, you can see the mappings. So like these are the original Wiimote nunchuck mappings right here. And this is what's going to be on the classic controller when you're actually sitting down to play. And this is what the action is in game. Now, if you notice right down here on the bottom, Wii Remote IR pointer L toggle. So this means that the L1 button is going to be the toggle for the pointing stuff in this game, which means that on this particular game, you can use either the left or the right stick for this particular function here in order to move the cursor in the game. So on this particular game, you have pointer on left stick, and you also have down here pointer on right stick. So just grab the one that you want. I'm just going to use the left stick one as my example here. And I also know that I have revision 1 for City Folk. So I'm going to click on USA revision 1. And you'll see here parentheses pointer on left stick, version 1.1. And what we're going to do is on the online GCT maker, go ahead and open this if you haven't already. We're just going to grab this entire code right here. Just grab all of it. And you're just going to paste that right in here. For the code title, I don't think it particularly matters, but I like to just grab the first part of the code that's on the thread and just use that for the cheat title, but again, I don't think this matters that much. That's just what I've been doing. But anyways, so now for the game ID. So you will need to fetch the game ID, which if you have Dolphin, let me go ahead and open that. You can actually come down here. So here's Animal Crossing City Folk. I'm just gonna right click on that, click on properties, and then let me see, I think it's info. Yes, so right here, RUUE01. So RUUE01, just double check. Yep, that is correct. All right, so now what you're gonna do is click on add code. All right, you'll see it pop up right there. And then you just click download GCT. And it's going to have it's going to generate your GCT file. This is what we're going to use to embed into the ISO. So what you're going to do now, because I already basically did a lot of the legwork here, I'm going to go ahead and give me a second here. I'm just going to jump cut this. Okay, so I moved the GCT file that I just downloaded into this folder that I have here conveniently. However you guys want to organize all this is all up to you, of course. But like I said, I already did the legwork on a lot of this stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and use the fresh GCT file here. So now what you want to do is you're just going to drag your ISO where it says drag ISO file here. Just go ahead and click on any key. And basically it's just going through the GCT file. So just give it a little bit. I don't remember if you have to place the GCT file in this folder. I actually don't remember on that. But if this doesn't work for you right away, maybe just try that. Just drag your GCT files in a folder named GCT. Like I said, I don't exactly remember if that's necessary, but I think that is the way I originally did it. It's been several days as of this recording. So anyways, all right, so it says, okay, should be finished now. Look for, basically this is going to create a new ISO image with the plus GCT underscore embed on the file name. So we're gonna go ahead and click on any key to exit that, and boom, there's our patched ISO right there. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this because again, I already did a lot of the legwork here. And then we'll just do the same for Donkey Kong Country. Let me actually, this is a good time to check if okay, yeah, I think it does do that. Yeah, because I did not generate a new GCT for Donkey Kong, and I have that one in here. So I think it does work off of that GCT folder. All right, and Donkey Kong is also finished. Again, just any key, and boom, here's your patched ISO. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and just delete that because I already have my patched games here. But that's how you're gonna do it for these particular games. Just anything that's on the main temp thread in here, anything that you see in here, this is what we just did. The process is pretty much the same for all of these. And I assume also with the WiiWare games, I haven't messed with any of these personally, but I assume that the process is pretty much the same. So now what we're going to do is let's go over Galaxy 1 and 2. Again, if you're going to only use Dolphin, you still have to do this part no matter what. So here's 2 base copies, and these are the patch copies that I already had. And here are the patches that you're going to download. So after you grab these 2, which are going to be from these mega links here, you're just going to extract them to a folder. And let me quickly go over this part too. So you actually have 2 mappings here. So you have the All-Stars mapping. All right. You can pause the video if you want to take a look. And let me jump on over to the NVIDIA mapping. Again, feel free to pause the video. And so once you've made your decision on which button layout you want to use, how we're going to do this is we're going to open the executable here. It's going to prompt you for an ISO. So let's do Galaxy 1. And now we're going to navigate over to the patch for Galaxy 1. And we're going to do NTSC for this copy. And then this is just going to be where you're going to want to save it. I'm just going to do the same folder here. Do I have to name it? Galaxy patched.iso. Yeah, okay. So now this is just going to do its thing. I'll go ahead and minimize Dolphin for you guys. So just wait for it to do its thing, and I may jump cut in just a moment, but there's something else here that I'm going to go over with you guys. Don't worry about the whole picking the how do I explain it? The button layout. I'm going to go over that in just a moment with you guys. All right, so just give it a little bit. Okay, so now that it has finished extracting the ISO, this is where it prompts you on which button layout you want. So for this example, I'm going to use the all-star style. And this is also where it prompts you about swapping L with ZL. So original classic controller users, this is where you are going to tell the program, you're going to hit yes if you are on the original classic controller. You can still obviously do that if you're using the Pro and you want to use L1 and R1 as the primaries. But yeah, this is where you would type in yes or no if you want to swap the L and ZL, and it'll also do the same for the R and ZR here. So I'm just going to hit no for both of these on this example. And yeah, at this point, you're just going to wait for this program to finish patching the ISO, just like the other one. All right, it's going to give you this warning here, just about USB loaders. Obviously, you saw earlier, I was playing Galaxy 2 on USB Loader GX just fine. I think this program was made before, like, it was like, before the stuff was kind of widely compatible or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I've been kind of out of the loop with the Wii hacking scene for quite a bit now, but anyways, the point is that it's pretty easy to patch these games up, which is great because it's obviously a godsend to be able to patch these Wii games with these traditional controls, because if you're anything like me, these cankles aren't what they used to be. All right, so now that that's done, we can close out. And there's our patched ISO right there. Again, I'm going to go ahead and just erase that because I already have them in here. All right. And at this point, however you get your ISOs onto your Wii or Wii U, that part's up to you. This guy assumes that you already know how to get these patched ISOs right on there. I mean, it's the exact same process as any other game. Just this guide does not particularly cover that. But so now we're going to go over. So this is for those of you that are only intending to use Dolphin. So all of these games here, none of these are my patched ISOs from here, because I never specified to Dolphin like these file paths. So all of these are fresh, unpatched games. So I'm gonna go ahead and do Donkey Kong for this example. Now I believe you go over to the properties, gecko codes. All right, let's add a code. All right, and we're just gonna do the exact same thing we were doing over here. Let me see. It's up here. Okay, so same deal. We're just gonna grab the entire code. You know, if I can compute it today. All right, just double checking that the whole thing went through. All right, so here's the code. Cut. Wait. I want to do it right the first time. All right. And I don't know, I guess you can do something like that. I don't think it matters, but why not? Just for completion. All right, and notes. Yeah, there we go. Save. All right, and it is checked. I'll double check that cheats are on. They should be. Okay, no, they were not. Okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just grab a controller over here, and I'm just gonna configure it for the classic controller. All right, so configure the emulated Wiimote, and I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a Xbox One controller, and on extension, you're gonna do classic controller, and over here on the extension tab is where we're gonna map our controller out. Never mind the home button. All right, so once you have your controller configured, we're gonna go ahead and launch Donkey Kong over here. All right, so we are now on Donkey Kong Country Returns. This is the control that I just configured. All right, so title screen should be A plus right trigger. Yep. So important to this game in particular, if you press start and select, it changes between Wii Remote. Oop, hang on. And it changes between the nunchucks. So you have nunchuck and Wiimote sideways, just with start and select. So the reason this is important on this game is because this game originally forces analog movement if you use a nunchuck, but the nunchuck was the only way to do like the shakes with a bit more comfort before. Whereas Wiimote sideways mode will allow you to move with the D-pad. That's why that's important. So me personally, I prefer to move with D-pad, so I'm gonna be in Wiimote plus, Wiimote horizontal mode. So let me go ahead and go back into the game. How do I select? I'm just trying to select the stage here. What? Hey, that's not it. Just so confused. Oh, okay. Okay, so I figured out how the level selection works. Anyways, so we're gonna start the first stage here, and we're gonna use the X and Y buttons to do the quote-unquote mashing. Just like that. And in real time, just whenever you want, you can press start and select to switch between the modes. So now the D-pad does not work and the left stick does. But again, I prefer the D-pad, so I'm going to use Wiimote sideways mode. And in this mode, I think it's the right trigger. Yes. Actually, I think all four. Yeah, so between LR, ZL, and ZR, it doesn't really matter which one you use, but you have to hold one of these so that you can do the run when you're in Wiimote horizontal mode. So just keep that in mind. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so when it prompts you about shaking, it's just going to be X or Y. So down plus one of those buttons. Doesn't matter. All right, and we're off to the races. Yeah, so you are going to use X or Y to do the roll, just like that. That was a pretty clean dodge a little bit ago. Sorry about the slight bit of lag here and there. I've got this rendering in 1440p right now. I don't know if I don't know how much rendering resolution really affects the starters on Dolphin, but just keep that in mind. Okay, so yeah, when it tells you one, it's just gonna be one of these. Pretty sure. Like I said, that's like the one thing that's kind of tricky with these hacks is that it's still going to give you the Wii Remote and nunchuck prompts when it does this sort of thing. As far as I'm aware, at least one of those hacks on that thread has an optional patch to patch in the classic controller button icons. I don't remember which game that is, but I didn't really test that, to be honest with you. I was just happy to get the hacks working at all. That's the only reason I haven't tested that. Maybe I will if you guys let me know in the comments if you want to see that, and I can make like a much smaller video if I figure that stuff out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. I forgot that in this game you have like several hit points instead of just losing one of the Kongs when you take a hit. Okay, and obviously the point of this was not to try to do this stage as efficiently as possible. It was just to show you guys that these hacks do in fact work, and if you're just using Dolphin, you can totally just apply the gecko codes and you'll be fine. But like I said, for Galaxy 1 and 2, you have to patch those with the program that we used just now, no matter what, for Galaxy 1 and 2. And for the Steam Deck users, pretty much everything we just went over applies to the deck. After you've patched your game, I assume you already know where to place your ROMs at. Let me get that in better frame for you guys. But yeah, same deal. Once you've patched the ISO, just place it on your ROMs folder and your emulation stuff on the deck. Make sure that on Dolphin, you have the classic controller configured with the Steam Deck buttons, and you're good to go from there. So next up on the guide is going to be the Wii U. Alright, so this is the portion of the guide that's for the Wii U players out there. This is very, very specifically for if you want to play on the gamepad. On the Wii U, you can already do the exact same thing that I was showing earlier with Galaxy 2. You just run it through USB Loader GX after you've patched the ISO, and you can just play straight away with the classic controller. Again, this portion of the guide is very specifically for if you want to play using the gamepad's D-pad and buttons and all that good stuff. So you're gonna come over here to this GitHub again, link down below, and you're gonna go over to the release. All right, just grab the newest one. You'll just click on here. I already grabbed it, so I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right in. So okay. So how we're gonna want to do this is we're gonna grab our game. All right, so I have here the exact location where I had all these games patched up already. So we're just gonna use Donkey Kong again as our example. All right, and we'll just click on download images from the repo. There we go. So okay, gamepad, actually, yeah, I don't think any of this is required. Yeah, so gamepad/meta options. All right, you can change this if you want. So like GCT embed. Okay, yeah, well, I guess it wasn't going to take any more characters, but anyways, so right down here, you want to make sure that you click on classic controller emulation. Right here, you can also swap the LR and the ZR and the R and ZR, but I'm not going to be doing that for this particular instance. I don't think you need to check anything in here really. So you're just going to go to build title, click on build. It might prompt you for the Wii U's common key. That is not something I can provide in this guide, but if you just Google around a little bit, it's out there. So it looks like it's already got my Wii U because I was doing this last time. So you're just gonna select here. Let me make a new folder here. YouTube, and I'm just gonna put it in this folder. All right, so you're just gonna let this build out. Not sure why it shrank, actually, now that I'm looking at that. But it could be because, or it could have something to do with the desktop scaling. It's, I don't know, it's weird stuff because right now I have this screen on 4K, but obviously the recording isn't going to show nearly that resolution. All right, and finally the conversion has been completed. I'm gonna go ahead and just hit no to that. So this is the copy of the game that we just made. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just close that out. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and just delete this because I already have the game converted right here. So now let's jump on over to the Wii U. Side note that I forgot to mention, when you convert these games for the Wii U, on your Wii U SD card, which I already have connected right here, please make sure to put them in a folder called install. It should just be in the root of your Wii U SD cards directory, and just make sure you're placing them in here. Okay, so we're here on the Wii U now. So right here on my Wii folder is where I have all my gamepad injects. So this is pretty much all stuff that I'm able to play just on the gamepad. Now right here is where Donkey Kong was. I deleted it just for the sake of this tutorial. So you're gonna want to launch into Homebrew. Whatever method you use, just make sure that you have a way to launch into Homebrew. And also, you're gonna need, what's this program called again? WAP-Installer GX2, that's it. So this is where we're gonna install our game here. I guess, does it not show the main interface on the TV? Because yeah, select doesn't do it. Shoot, how am I gonna do this? Okay, so I set up this small little hand cam setup just for this. Wow, I forgot how reflective the gamepad really is, but anyways, let me just try to get that in frame for you guys. So this is what it looks like on the gamepad when you go into WAP-Installer. I seriously had no idea that the TV just wasn't going to show anything. But anyways, so you're just going to scroll down here to Donkey Kong, just going to hit A, and you're just going to tap on install, hit yes to that. I'm going to use my USB drive for this, and you're just going to wait for that to finish its installation process. And this is what it's going to look like when it's all done. Thought I had to tap that for a moment. Okay, so now we're just going to exit from there. I don't remember if the custom firmware I have right now goes straight back to the home screen or not. I guess I'll find out right now, but otherwise I'll just do another jump cut. Alright, so back on the Wii U home screen, the game's going to pop up right here. I'm going to go ahead and just drag that right into my Wii folder. And right here, when it prompts you, you're just going to hit yes. Okay, so we've booted into Donkey Kong here. Same deal, with the trigger in the back being B. And start plus select. Yep, that works. Gonna go ahead and just do Wiimote sideways. Something I failed to stress earlier is that the injections like this for the Wii U gamepad, in particular, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 did not work for me. Didn't matter what settings I used on the Wii VC injector, just Galaxy 1 and 2 are just off the table in this particular configuration, unfortunately. But anyways, so here's Donkey Kong. And when you go into the home menu, you just use the left stick to move the cursor around. This is going to be different on some of the patches because some games put A on something different between the buttons. So just make sure that you keep that in mind. But on Donkey Kong Country Returns, it's just either A or B. Oh, okay, I guess it's just A, which is still fine. I remember there was a different game where B also was A. It might have been Mario Galaxy, actually. Okay, so the rest of the video here is just going to be going over some gameplay. Definitely haven't played in a while. Wow, festival. Neat. Anyways, so I'm pretty much just gonna showcase some gameplay here for you guys. Earlier I mentioned how L1 on this game brings out the pointer. Very important because if you hit home, the stick doesn't do anything until you toggle that. So notes like that, they're gonna be on the games that you patch when you go to the temp thread. Oh, there we go. Anyways, yeah, so like small little things like that with this game, all of that stuff is going to be in the notes on the temp thread. Maybe at some point they can patch this so that the Y button picks up, like in the like on New Leaf and on New Horizons. I don't think they changed that on the newest game, right? But maybe one day they can patch this out, the Y button does that, because on this game you have to use the same button as run. Who really knows? I don't mind it too much personally, it's just a small little adjustment to make. But I'm not really sure how feasible it is to patch the Y button to do the same, unless you just make it another run button. Because as far as I can tell, the code for this stuff is such where, like, the limitations that the Wiimote nunchuck have apply to this as well, basically, in a certain kind of way. I don't really know how to explain that better, but yeah, this is Animal Crossing City Folk with traditional controls, and it's pretty comfy. There's like shortcuts here too, so the Y button pulls up the photo thing. All right. The X button, I believe, pulls up the map? No, the inventory, okay. One of these pulls up the map. Maybe select? No. Start button. Yeah, so start button pulls up the map. And the select button takes a picture. Okay, ZR is also a map shortcut, and ZL is also an inventory shortcut. Okay. Don't remember if the R button does anything. Oh, okay, that's for running. Okay. Yeah, so you can use B and R1 for running. So I'm guessing R1 can also pull the weeds. Okay, yeah, I was doing that with B earlier. So I guess you have two run buttons. Like I said, that stuff, that all varies from game to game, like what they all do with the control schemes here. I don't think the right stick is going to do anything at all, but that's fine. Because we did not choose a pointer on right stick. Again, if you want it to be on right stick, just make sure that you are using the correct code for what you're trying to do. And of course, pay attention to the revisions when you're applying these codes. But yeah, Animal Crossing... Oh, also, the D-pad shortcuts are a thing here. That works. I think down puts it away? Yeah, I forgot what up does. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so all that is here too. It's pretty nice. So yeah, there you have it. City Folk with traditional controls. It's nice and comfy. And of course, if you play this on the Steam Deck, you can play it anywhere you want. So, you know, if you missed this era of Animal Crossing, this is absolutely the best, like, version you can play now, in my opinion. I know some people swear by the GameCube version, and that's fine. I like that version too. But I do prefer the way that Wild World introduced the whole globe thing when you're running up like this, like having like the whole world like rotate. I prefer that in my classic Animal Crossing personally, but I mean, you know, it's just all opinion. I like City Folk the most out of all the classic Animal Crossings, and now this is just the absolute best way to play it. Here's some Kirby's Return to Dreamland. I think for this game there were two options on the thread. There was one where it's Y and B, and then there was one that was B and A for the jump and the suck. Okay, yeah, I don't remember what X and A do, but this game is really not very complicated to begin with. Okay, I have a block on ZL and ZR. Not particularly sure off the top if there was an option to swap these for this game, but I think there was, if I remember right. Alright, so coming into the first stage here. I mean, something complicated, it's Kirby, you know? But there is a spot here that I do want to show in just a moment. I don't actually know if I'm gonna remember the controls when I get to it though. Okay, so A, let's go of the power-up, which is cool because I actually do use this as select when I emulate the NES Kirby's Adventure at times. Okay, I think L and R, these are gonna be like the shake input, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of the cutter. So if I... Okay, yeah, so this is like the shake input. Do you have to hold it? Okay, I think just tapping it once. Ah, okay. So you do hold it for a little bit. Like half a second or something. While you're inhaling. Yeah, that's basically all you need to know, I'm pretty sure, for this game. Ah, yeah, this is the part where I was forced to learn this initially, but yeah, I think you guys already get the gist of the whole, some of these games are not gonna have patches that tell you the button prompts with the classic controller, so sometimes you really just kinda gotta guess around for that. But like I said, it's nothing complicated. I don't think you're gonna run into a whole lot of difficulty with any of these games. And plus, the thread is there if you really need to look up the controls on any of these. And here's Mario Sports Mix. I should really grab a complete save for this game. We'll just do basketball. Exhibition. I'm only picking easy because I really don't know the controls off the top. Yeah, that's all fine. Plus, this is all demonstration purposes anyways. I'll get good at this game when I have a proper complete save. And I take the time to learn the controls on all 4 of the sports. But this one is particularly exciting to me because I actually think Mario Sports Mix is one of the better, like... I'm not sure what's going on with those screen tears there. This is on the virtual Wii mode. I don't know, maybe that's normal in this game, who knows. But anyways, so I was saying that I think Mario Sports Mix is one of the all-time greater, or one of the all-time great sports games for Mario. I just really like how, even though this game only has the 4 sports, all 4 of them are pretty well tuned, if you ask me. And it's really cool having the Square characters as guests on this game. Like I said, I gotta grab a complete save. Okay, so A passes, and it also requests it. That's a jump. So Y and B seem to be doing the same thing. Okay, R is also a jump. Okay, L1 switches. The Z buttons don't seem to be doing much. But, you know, that's all fine and dandy. There we go. Does this game do the... No. Actually, I was pretty sure it didn't, but it does not do the thing where you can choose between nunchuck and Wiimote modes with start and select, but I don't think it's that important for this game. In fact, it's actually probably for the better to just do the nunchuck stuff because this game does have I believe anyways that it has analog control. Yeah, it kind of has it. But again, for Donkey Kong, that's only relevant because of how some players are like myself are going to prefer the D-pad on that game, and the Wiimote horizontal was the only scheme that got you that. Oh hey, I scored. But yeah, Mario Sports Mix, pretty cool, especially because it's going to be easier than ever to set up multiplayer sessions for this game. Particularly just by using Dolphin for this game at least. I don't have enough classic controllers to do this on real hardware, but on Dolphin, you know, I can just dock the Steam Deck, we plug in like 4 Xbox controllers, and we can just fucking go on this game now. Yeah, obviously as long as all 4 players have the controller configured, but really that's like the biggest hurdle now with this game. So that's pretty exciting to me. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next game. Alright, so last one, this is Rhythm Heaven Fever. So one of the things I actually kind of don't like as much on this hack is, let me see here. Never mind, I figured it out. So L and ZL, these are both the Wii Remote's B buttons. R and ZR are duplicates, as well as or R and ZR are the A button, I mean. So you could do, like, for example, ZL and ZR for the double inputs, or L and R. Okay, and then you've got A also acting as an A button. I don't think the other face buttons do anything in this game in particular. Okay, it looks like the analog stick mimics the D-pad, because this game never had nunchuck support to begin with. Okay, and then that's just the cursor stuff. So pretty much when you open the home menu on this game, you're gonna use the right stick instead of the left stick. So I'm not particularly sure if I even can play a song here, but I'm gonna do it anyways for you guys because I want this guide to be really comprehensive. Anyways, so yeah, A button is A, as well as R and ZR, and L and ZL are gonna be your B buttons. So I'm just gonna do this one song. Phew, that was harder for me than it really looked because I have 2 layers of lag right now for the audio, because the HDMI is going to the capture card, and then that audio is being received by me from my wireless headphones. It's 2.4 gigahertz at least, but I'm dealing with 2 layers of audio lag there. But hey, I still got the superb Doria. That's what it says on there. We're pretty much done here. And there you go, that's how you patch some of these Wii games that now have classic controller hacks. So go ahead and go out there and spread the word about these awesome hacks. I'm really excited because the Wii is it was like integral to me in high school, and you know, I really liked the shaking stuff back then because I was a young G, but today these cankles, they're not what they used to be. But I'm really excited because these hacks are just making it so much easier to preserve these games and to create some awesome new memories with them, as well as just playing them on the Steam Deck, playing them on the Wii U gamepad, you know, whatever permutation you want to use. I just hope that you found this guide to be nice and helpful for your specific configuration. And so I have an outro recorded, and I changed rooms in the middle of production of this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed the guide. Please consider supporting me on Patreon if you found this guide to be helpful. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye for now.